from a successful run at the Quick 60 event at Mallory Park last weekend, we decided to put an entry in for round 6 of Donington Park, round 6 of time attack at Donington Park today. Proper shakedown for the car following the short runs that were part of the Quick 60 event. We needed some proper seat time and to run the new changes, the gearbox, etc. In the format that it's designed to, which is obviously circuit based. We're very excited to see how the car performs today. We're using it as a shakedown and a test. We're seeing what sort of times we get, and if the car feels good, we will push later on this afternoon. But this really is a test session for us. No excuses, but obviously the car hasn't ran in this format under these kind of conditions ever before. So yeah, good day, good weather, plenty of competition, and hopefully a great day's racing. So we've just completed the first session at Donington Park today. That session's warm up. First time in the car at a circuit, so some real good seat time. The aim of today really is to spend as much time in the driver's seat as possible. Learn the car, because it is so different to how it was before. I can't really put into words just how different it feels to drive. So yeah, we went out with the idea of running as much time as possible. Sadly, I think 4 or 5 laps into that session, we had a bolt come out the pedal box, which caused the brake pedal to fall behind the clutch pedal, locking the brakes on. Took me a couple of minutes to work out what had happened, but brought the car into pit lane, luckily, without any assistance of recovery. Got that bolt replaced, and yeah, everything was fine. The rest of the car was brilliant. So the car felt very nervous. The front end still isn't where I want it. It's not back to where it was last year. I've got some work to do still on that. I would say that turning was much better, and there was some feel returning since Quick 60, where it was particularly bad, to be honest. So yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. Nothing fantastic going on in warm-up this morning. The brake pedal bolt hindered us a little bit from running the rest of the session. But again, you know, seat time, year out the car, it's good to get back and start to find a feel for this new setup. So yeah, not great, but some positives to take away. We're just in from practice, session 2. Much better. Changed some settings. We centred the steering wheel a little bit, which is off, and having a bit of a hindering effect with the paddles. Put a little bit more toe on the car and put a little bit more camber in as well on the front end to try and get the front to bite. We also took a little bit of rear wing off because the car still isn't turning in anywhere near as good as it has last year. Still an indirect and detached feel as a driver from the car at the moment. That's really something that's hindering progress today. We had another issue, which was the ECU fuse fell out. So we lost everything. Lost dashboard, engine power. The car was stuck in gear, which was a bit of a problem. So yeah, we stopped running in the practice session due to that. The car did feel better. I think we went quicker as well, so set a quicker lap time, so a bit of an improvement. Still way off the pace from last year, but the car feels like that, so it's not like the car feels good and the pace isn't there. I just need some more seat time just to gel with this new setup. Believe it or not, having the gear stick there to hold and not using a clutch pedal, it really does detach you as a driver. So that's all just familiarity and something that is going to come, but it is going to take time. And I was fully expecting that. So we'll go again in qualifying. We made some other changes, which I'll go through in a little while, and we'll see if we can make some more improvements for qualifying. So that's qualifying done. We've just come back in. The car's really hot. The sun's come out. The circuit's improved a lot, and the car felt better. Best it's felt all day, to be honest. So that's really positive. We put a bit more toe on. We made some changes to the drive shafts, and fiddled about with tyre pressures a little bit because they were a bit hot at the front end. Started to attack a couple of corners now, which is really good. So we are carrying a lot more pace up the hill on the far side of the circuit, and through the last chicane as well. There's some posts been put in and some quite big curbstones which we weren't running this morning, which we now are. So yeah, just getting used to the car's performance, remembering just how good it is, just learning to lean on it a bit more and carry a bit more speed. There's a couple of corners that I was losing traction in fourth gear a lot. I'm now short shifting to fifth and getting drive out of those bends, which has resulted in about another second and a half off our lap times today, which is significant. Still, a second away from where we've been before, or just over a second, I should say. And I genuinely don't think that those sort of times are in the car today, or in me today, I should say. But we'll keep pushing hard today. If the car does continue to improve the way that it is, then I'll have a stab at that PB today. But in reality, we are still in the testing phase, and I'm expecting quite a lot to be able to do that. So yeah, looking forward to the final now as things start to come together and the car starts to feel a little bit more attached. So yeah, a challenging day, difficult, not what I'm used to, but it's coming together, and hopefully we'll have some positives to take away by the end of today. So we're back at the shop now, following I've returned to time attack at Donington Park with car 13 after all the changes that we've made through the winter. The final didn't really go our way at all. We retired the car from the final on the approach to the exit from pit lane. I noticed there was a drive issue with the car, so we decided to retire it there and then, rather than risk being stranded out on circuit, ruining everybody else's day basically. On return to the shop, we found that the outer CV joint on the off side of the car had failed. The cage itself had split in half. A little bit of a shock, really, as we've never had a transmission problem before or a drive shaft issue before. But they weren't new CVs. They're CVs we'd ran for quite a long time, so presumably just metal fatigue with the extra stresses and strains of the flat shifts from the gearbox. Just kind of saw that off. So that's all fixed and everything's back together. On the strip down for that, I noticed that the lower brace that holds the front splitter had cracked quite significantly as well. So we've had that off and remade that. And there was some centre box damage which is yet to be explained, but we've replaced that. So some extra damage from the first two events back for 23, but nothing too major, just things that we've coped with and corrected now. So the whole day at Donington was a bit challenging. We had a lot of silly problems, things rattling loose, things that we'd not come across before. But as the spec of the car changes, presumably, they're just things that we need to pay more attention to. We didn't get anywhere near our PB. A lot of the day was spent testing and tweaking and just fettling things, really. So a good shakedown event. We've learned a lot about the new setup for the car and things that we need to do for it. So although it was disappointing to not have a great result, we've come away with a lot of data to help us move forward in the future, which is obviously what all this is all about. Our future plans now for the rest of 23 are to get the car back up and running. I've got some new disc and pads to fit to the front end that Questmead have kindly helped me out with, because the brakes weren't particularly brilliant at Donington, and we have been running the same disc and pads for quite a long time. So we're going to give those a refresh, and then look for events that remain throughout the what's left of 23. So we are looking at maybe a couple of sprint events, or possibly looking at the Snetterton, the last round of Time Attack. But seat time is what we need. We need some more time in the car and to pull some more data from it. So that's it really for now. Donington's behind us, and we move forward to the next event.